Hello everyone, my name is Priti Ghimire and the topic of discussion for me today is the Arabic language, its history, feature and influence. Before starting the presentation, I would like to apologize regarding any mispronunciation or if I touch any sensitive issues. So going forward with the presentation, it is known that a language does not exist in a vacuum. It spread, grow and shape itself according to its speaker. The Arabic language has been around the world for a very long time, approximately 1500 years, and it has shaped the history not only for itself but any other language and culture that it has come to contact with. So, regarding the Arabic language, Arabic or Al-Arabia is the fifth most spoken language in the world with 293 million national speakers and 422 million total speakers. The language is official language for more than 26 countries, though it is not their first language. Apart from this, the language is also one of the six official language of United Nations. The name Arabic comes from Arab, a term initially used to describe the people living among the Sinai Peninsula. So, as the language of Quran, Arabic is the liturgical language for more than 17 billion people. Though they does not speak or know the language fluently, but they have some idea in regard to the holy texts. The Arabic language have two varieties: classical Arabic and modern standard Arabic. Some consider classical Arabic to be the perfect form of the language because it was the language in which God revealed Quran to the Muhammads. And for the modern standard Arabic, it is expanded from of the classical Arabic, which is mainly used for literature, media, and other social function. Both of these forms, classical Arabic and modern Arabic, is referred to as al-Fusha, which means eloquent speech by the local people. And for the everyday colloquial use, local dialect Amiya is used. The Amiya differs geographically. Like for example, the Amiya used in India will have influence of Hindi or any other geographical language, prominent geographical language, in comparison to one spoken in Arab or Iran. Uh, Arabic is a Semitic language, precisely Central Semitic, like Hebrew and Phoenician. Now for Old Arabic language. When we talk about Old Arabic, we have to talk about the numerous Semitic language related to Arabic that was spoken in Arabia between 13th and 10th century BCE. This language were considered to be somewhere similar to Arabic, though not much evidence were found about them. The earliest evidence of the people referring to Arabs is in an Assyrian inscription from 8th century, 8th century BCE. Sorry, but not. But it is only the name that was referred to on the text, not anything more. From the 6th century BCE to 4th century CE, there were inscriptions showing evidence of early form of Arabic. So, some of the written texts during this time period is considered to be the earliest form of Arabic, while other were written in Aramaic and show some influence of Arabic. But to be considered here, thing is, the only thing mentioned in this text were proper names. So not much could be said about the language. The earliest inscription or Arabic language from 1st century BCE was found in Avdat. Uh, it was an inscript of Aramaic language with merely 3 lines on Arabic text. Another inscription was found in 329 CE and was from Namara. This inscription was said to be nearly identical to the classical Arabic. But there are also inscriptions from 4th and 5th century CE that are written in a script which share more likeness to the classical Arabic. And it is presumed that the Arabic script developed from the Nabatean script, and these are somewhere between the two. That means the text that was found between the 5th and 4th century CE. So now, moving on to the classical Arabic. So now talking about the period that was beginning of the Islam, which was roughly around 5th to 7th century CE, there are numerous dialects of Arabic spoken around the Sinaian Peninsula. So it was kind of problem for them not having a common tongue to interact among them. So though there was a common literary language, a koina, which was a compromise within various dialects, but this koina was used mainly for literary purpose or to write poetries and songs and their own. The poetry written in this koina are one of the first work of classical Arabic. So, because of this complication, they started standardization or compilation of the classical Arabic, and and as said, during the 7th century, it is the time which is presumed to be the time when the Quran was revealed to the Muhammads by God or angel Gabriel, and it took around 23 years for them to compile the text. And the Quran was written in the 7 dialects of classical Arabic, which was present during this period. They merely were different in the sense of pronunciation rather than vocabulary. But later Qurayshi became the standard dialect for present-day Quran. Islamic conquest spread Arabic language into a new faraway land, and after the conquest, the standardization of language became even more important because of the increasing number of speakers. So, to do that, the scripts were made more practical, new vocabulary was created, the grammar and style of the prose was also standardized. Therefore, the Arabic of Quran is somewhat similar to this pre-Islamic classical Arabic text, but they are not identical. The next topic is Neo Arabic and Middle Arabic. So, Neo Arabic is the period when the classical Arabic or the Arabic text was made more simplified and standardized. The local dialect emerged, though there was standardization for classical Arabic, local dialect emerged in the city. These dialects, though are not direct descendant of classical Arabic, they come from other dialects or koina. The main reason for the creation of this dialect was because of interaction between the soldiers of the army and the locals of the conquered land. So the main dialect of this period are like Levantan and Mesopotamia, which was in which were influenced by Aramic, the dialect of Maghrib, which was influenced by Berber, and the dialect of Egypt, which was influenced by Coptic. This early century of newly emerging dialects is referred to as New Arabic. Even though classical Arabic was standardized during this time period, not many people had idea of how to write properly in this text. So there was a middle ground for this. A new writing system that comprised of simplified features of both classical Arabic and New Arabic was introduced, which is known as Middle Arabic. So Middle Arabic does not refer to any time period, but to a style of prose or writing system. Now the next topic is Modern Arabic. After centuries of evolution, the New Arabic became the modern colloquial Arabic used today, that is, in the modern period, but the literal Arabic remained relatively constant. This is because the standard variety or the true variety of Arabic is said to be the one on which Quran is written on, the one which is said to be the language of God. So I think this had a conservative effect on the dialect from limiting it from changing too much. Uh, Also, the entry of Napoleon in Egypt in 1798 AD was of a great significance. It was Arabs one of the first greater contact with the Western culture and language. In the early 20th century, the regional academic of Arabic language began the process of language reform, and it mainly consists of expanding and updating the vocabulary. Arabic language also had a very great influence on French. Over 500 words in French are borrowed from Arabic. French borrow words like algorithm, which has an Arabic origin that came from the name of the mathematician Al-Khwarizm. Now the next topic is about disclosure. Disclosure is a situation when the speaker or the group of speaker of a language gives have two different form of the same language used for two different purposes, and one of the variety is said to be high variety, where other one is low. An Arabic speaker used two distinctive different form of language in parallel for different purposes. The modern standard variety, which here is the higher variety, is not used by any native language. Anyone is a native language. It is used in literary work or for literature, media, and formal speech, while the colloquial dialect or Amia is used universally for daily conversation. When people are unable to understand each other, they may use what is referred to as al-fushar. Here, when the people of two dialects does not understand each other, they may shift to al-fuzar, which is modern standard Arabic, and shift back to their language as convenient. They can also use what is known as white dialect. White dialect is something like a formal dialect made up of common feature of the dialect present in the present, and they use the most common and simplified feature where they does not include anything that is specific for few dialects or some very difficult features. Now, next is what is Arabic like? So the one of the common feature of Arabic, which is known to all, is Arabic texts are written from right to left. It consists of the letter that imitates handwriting, something like this. Most of the letters are joined to the following word, while some remain disjoint, as in case of al-top, which means join letter have two forms: short form at the beginning and or the middle of the word, and long form that comes at the end of the word or in isolation. Arabic script is written in abzad, which has each letter represented by a consonant. Short vowel are not written. Long vowel and diphthong are ambiguous. The Arabic vowel are written with harakat, which is also called takshil in Arabic. It indicates an extra diacritic mark, which indicates short vowel sound. They are only used in texts that require perfect pronunciation, like Quran or some literature texts. Influence of Arabic language on other language. Arabic language has been in this world for a very long time, and thus the influence of the language can be seen throughout history. From French and English that consist of 500 to 50 word in vocabulary respectively, to Spanish, which consists of 4,000 Arabic or Arabic influenced word. The numeral system that is borrowed by South Arabian language like Swahili and others. And many words, Arabic words, are used throughout the world in literature and media. about the influence of the language in Arabic. The language of Arabic Peninsula has influenced immensely by the language, the Napoleon invention